Hey everybody, if you're a fan of Bear Archery bows, but you've been waiting for a longer axle to axle bow with integrate accessory mounts, meet the Bear Persist 33. The highlight are the integrate accessory mounts. Bullet hole, smart shot. For shooting this for all of this afternoon, we're getting her dialed in. All right, so here we are with the Bear Persist 33. This is their flagship hunting bow for 2024. You know, last year they had the Persist, which was a 30-inch axle to axle. Probably ideal for, you know, eastern whitetail hunters. This one's gonna be 33 inches axle to axle. Some of the western hunters, tack shooters, they like a little bit longer bow just for stability. So this will be your option for that, the Persist 33. It does have the same EKO or Echo cam, and at 33 inches axle to axle, your draw length range on this is gonna be 26.5 to 30.5 on a rotating module. You're gonna have let-off options of 75, 80, 85, or 90%. Just gonna put your draw stop in different positions for that. So, but we do have a 6.25 inch brace height, and for draw weight, you're gonna have two versions of this bow available. You're gonna have a 45 to 60 pound version or 55 to 70 pounds. I do have the 55 to 70 pound version here. All right, so the Bear Persist 33, what are we looking at for features here? So it is a machined aluminum riser, that's what we got here, and the highlight that Bear has on this are the integrate accessory mounts. So they do have the dovetail here. It's not machined into the riser, but rather you can see it's an add-on piece. And so that's gonna fit any of your integrate style rests that are mounted in that fashion. Behind this rubber piece here, you do have your two burger holes. So if you already have a rest that mounts the traditional way, you can put that on as well. Pick mount. So they do have a picatinny rail that mounts onto the riser there if you want to put on a pick mount sight. So that's something Bear has been working on the last couple years, and actually to put it on almost all of their bows, including their budget bows as well. But they know we bow hunters like those integrate mounted accessories, so they're giving you the mounts for that. What else do we got here? So in here we do have a riser mounted level. So you can see the level right in that little hole right there. What that's going to help you with is, I mean, it's besides your sight, you're probably looking through your sight when you're leveling up to take a shot. But when you're mounting your sight and leveling your axes, one of the things you have to do is attach a level somewhere. Well, with the Bear Persist 33, you've got a level mounted in there. Coming down here at the shelf, we do have this rubber coating here. That's just nice to keep your arrow quiet if your arrow happens to hit on there. If you're using a drop away rest that sits on the shelf, that rubber padding there keeps it nice and quiet. We do have a composite grip here. Nice slim grip, fairly symmetrical up and down there. Nice and slim, good edges along the side there. We have this divider running down the very center of the grip. That gives you something that you can feel in your hand. So as you get your hand placement, that's something that helps you figure out exactly where the grip is in your hand. Repeatability, that's what we want. Built into, well, kind of built into the riser is this wrist sling. This is going to come with it. And there's a screw right in here, inside this hole here. That's what allows you to adjust the wrist sling. So it's not something that's attached on. You know, we're used to seeing wrist slings where you have to put a bolt into the stabilizer mount. This one is controlled by a screw here, so it's kind of part of the bow. For your stabilizer mounts, you are going to have bushings. You're going to have them on the back here for a side rod if you want to put it there. And then you've got your standard front mount. You've got dampeners down low and up high. Also, this is something Bear has started the last couple years. This is just a built-in loop. It's a cord loop for hauling your bow up and down out of the tree. Gives you a nice place to connect to that's quiet rather than tying something around your limbs or hooking something onto your cams. That's not always a great idea. They give you a cord loop built into the limbs here and into the riser so you can haul your bow up and down. Now the EKO cam, this is kind of a unique cam system in the compound world for what it allows you to do. So we mentioned the draw length range of this bow is 26.5 to 30.5. So that's going to be done by your rotating module here. Bear has a chart that comes with this bow that tells you the different positions for getting the different draw lengths. It works in conjunction with your draw stop up here, which you're going to use the module position and the draw stop to affect let-off. Let-offs, as we mentioned, are available 75%, 80%, 85%, and 90%. And how you achieve that has to do with module position, draw stop position, and the way that it points. You can see a little arrow on the end here, and you can see a plus that is pointing to. The arrow is pointing to the plus. That is one let-off setting. If I turn it to the minus, that's going to be a different one. Currently, the way I have this set up, my cam or my module position plus the arrow pointing to the plus, I am at 85% let off. That's the settings that I have it. So just a unique system that Bear has for adjusting your draw length and to have that adjustability in let off. Now you might be asking, on a hunting bow, why would you want different let-offs? Why not just have 90%? Well, 90% let-off, that's a high let-off. So that can do a couple of things, including it can make that dump when you roll the cam over. It can make that kind of harsh because it's going to such a low poundage after you get over the let-off. You know, and some folks just like to have more holding weight. It helps them with their shot process, helps them activate their release. Folks who shoot out in the wind, you know, high let-off isn't necessarily conducive to shooting in the wind because you're holding less weight. The wind can kind of move you more. When you're holding more weight, you're going to have more resistance. That can be better for the wind. So just to have that adjustability for you to pick what you want in terms of let-off. You got 4 different settings there, percentages, so you can get the bow to shoot the way you want. And now, as we always like to do, I like to see what this bow is capable of. More important than the specs, hey, what can I do with it? How does it aim? How does it shoot? How do I group with it at distance? So we're going to tune this bow. We're going to shoot it through paper. We're going to set it up completely. First off, sight, rest, stabilizer, all the accessories. And then we're going to do a speed test to see just how fast this bow shoots. And of course, we'll take it outside and we'll shoot it at distance to see what the Bear Persist 33 can do. Bullet hole. All right, so we're gonna do our speed test now. First, we're gonna get our draw weight. Remember, this is the 55 to 70 version. And we are at 67.6. So that's coming in a little bit light. I could fix that by twisting up the cables to get it to 70 pounds. That's going to lengthen my draw length, but we're going with this. This is 67.6. We do have our Easton Sonic that weighs exactly 350 grains. So for ATA speed tests, you go 70 pounds, 30-inch draw, use a 350 grain arrow. The speed rating for this bow is 340 feet per second. We'll see what we get through our Garmin chronograph. 327.6. 325.9, so 326-ish, 326, 327. All right, so the specs do call for this bow to be at 70 pounds. So, we took our speed test at 67, but then we were like, well, let's get it to 70. And if this will also just illustrate that, just because the bow comes a certain way out of the box, you can get it into spec. And at your pro shop where you're going to buy this bow, they can get it to match the specs. So what you do to increase the draw weight is we're going to put twists in the cables. And whatever we do to one, we're going to do to the other. So 3, 4, 5. 71.2. I'm gonna call that good. So let's go outside, shoot our 350 grain arrow again and see what speed we get. All right, Bear Persist speed test, take 2. You remember we're up to 71 pounds here. That's closer to the spec. We wanna see what this does. All right, 331.8. We'll shoot another one. Remember, the speed rating is 340. 335. Let's do another one more. We get a 4 feet per second difference there between 1 and 2. Let's see what 3 does. 332.8. So, right in there, we'll call it 332. Speed rating is 340. That's a little better because we're at 71 pounds. And to be honest, just so you know, 71 pounds to 67 pounds, I don't feel a difference in the draw weight. It draws just as smooth. All right, here we go. Bear Persist 33. We're shooting this outside 50 yards at the deer target, and we got a pretty good wind. This is a good test. As we mentioned, a lot of Western hunters like a longer bow. One of the things they have to deal with is wind, so we're out here shooting in it. So 50 yards. Dead center, middle of the body. Wind was pushing me around pretty good. Well, let me take another shot and I'll tell you about the draw and how this bow feels. There we go. Dead center. Oh, hard shot. All right, so shooting the Bear Persist 33, what do I notice? It is 33 inches axle to axle, so I can definitely feel that length. The bow does weigh, without any accessories on it, 5.1 pounds. It's a bit on the heavy side. I can definitely feel some of that weight. But the draw cycle is really nice. There's a little bit of a dump at the back end, but it's smooth to get to it, and it's not it's not a sharp dump. You can feel the hump roll over, but it's not one that really causes you a lot of problem getting through. As I mentioned, it is windy, so I am able to keep my pin in the vitals area. If we were shooting aiming point, like a bullseye target, I'd probably be all around that. But for deer, for hunting, that's what this is made for. I'm staying able to keep it in that kill zone. After the shot, not really a lot of vibration. I don't really feel much at the shot. It's just kind of dead. There is a little bit of noise. It's not really loud. Quite frankly, when we were shooting it inside, I thought it sounded quieter than when we came out here. So Little bit of noise, but I don't think it's any problem. But let's take another shot and then we'll go down and see how I did. Ooh, that was the nicest looking shot because the wind died down for a second. That one, the arrow flew straight. But let's go down here and check out these arrows. All right, so we got our first two when the wind was really cranking. This was shot number 3, and this one was 4. This is one I was expecting the wind to give me a little bit of drift, but the wind died, so it didn't drift, it went perfectly straight. But yeah, you know, for shooting this for all of this afternoon, we're getting her dialed in. You know, the more time I spend with this, I'm sure the more my groups would shrink. Again, if we were shooting a bullseye, you know, out here in the wind, that would cause me some problems, but having a defined aiming point tends to tighten your groups anyway. What's happening is the arrows are hitting behind the pin. That's the main thing. That's what's most important. All right, that is the Bear Persist 33, the new flagship bow from Bear Archery for 2025. You know, if you're a fan of Bear Archery and you like a longer axle-to-axle bow and you wanted all the integrate style accessories for the sight, the rest, etc., this is going to be a great bow choice for you. So this bow is a Pro Shop only model. You can click the link in the description below to check it out on our website, but to see this bow in person, you're gonna have to go to your local Pro Shop. If we are your local Pro Shop, we of course will have it there. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at lancasterarchery.com.